everyone, I am Aishwarya Saxena and I welcome you to my YouTube channel, that is Attract English by Aishwarya Saxena. Friends, as you know, currently we are working on a series related to tense and its types, and also we are soon going to move towards the end of this complete series. Since we have completed all the different types of tense, we are left with the last two types, that are future perfect tense and future perfect continuous tense. So today we are going to deal with the second last type, and then we will be left with only a single type, that is future perfect continuous, and lastly we will just solve some questions related to all the four subtypes of the type future tense. Now let us begin with the topic future perfect tense. Initially I would like to tell you the application of this tense. This tense is used to talk about such actions or events that will be completed in future till a point of time or till the completion of any other event in future. Okay. Now let's see the format for framing such sentences. The concept will be more clear to you while discussing the examples, but before that let us see that how to frame such examples or sentences. The sentence will always begin with the subject. Subject is either a noun or a pronoun. Noun is basically a name of any place, person, thing, animal, anything. And pronouns are words that describe or replace nouns. For example, he, she, it, they, etc. Then plus will or shall. Okay, these are the most common auxiliary verbs that we use. Apart from that, you can use other auxiliary verbs also, like should, must, may, might, etc. You can go to my video that is about auxiliary verbs in order to learn more about the auxiliary verbs. Then plus have will be used as it is, plus the third form of verb, that is the past participle form. Then plus object. Objects are words that answer the question what, when, okay, where, etc. in order to complete the meaning of the sentence. Now, let's see some examples in order to understand the application of future perfect tense as well as the usage of this format to frame sentences. First, Priya will have completed the project by Wednesday. So, Wednesday is a point of time that will come in future. So, till that point of time, Priya will have completed the project. Okay. So, when we want to talk about such actions or events that will be done in future before or till any point of time or till the completion of any other task or activity. Now, if we compare this with the format, Priya, it is the name of a person, it is subject, it is a noun. Then will. Why will? Because shall we use when we take I or we pronoun as subject. Apart from that, we never use shall. So, will, then have as it is, then completed. Completed is the third form of verb complete. Then the project by Wednesday. This is the object. Priya will have completed what? This what is being answered by the project, and when. When is being answered by Wednesday. So this complete part is answering the question what and where, and also by answering these questions it is completing the sense of this sentence. Therefore this part is acting as the object here. Now discussing the second example, Ram will have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m. Here Ram is the subject, it is a noun. Then will, have as it is, reached. It is the third form of verb reach. Then Jaipur by 2 p.m. So this Jaipur is answering the question where, and by 2 p.m. is answering the question when. So this is the object here. Ram will have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m. That means in future by 2 p.m. the action of reaching Jaipur will be done by Ram. Okay, so these sentences, this kind of activities, actions are expressed by using the future perfect tense. Last, Jay will have written a book by next month. It means the point of time that we have taken here is next month. By next month, in future, by next month, Jay will have written a book. The task of writing a book will be done by Jay till next month, by next month. Okay. Now here, Jay is subject, it is a noun. Then will, have as it is, written is the third form of verb write. Then a book. It is answering the question what? John will have written what? A book. And when? By next month. Therefore, this part is acting as the object here. This is how we form general sentences in future perfect tense using this format. Now, we'll talk about framing negative sentences in future perfect tense. And if you have well understood the first format that I discussed with you, then you will be easily able to understand the other formats also that we will discuss throughout this video, because all the formats can be derived from that first format. So it is important to understand that one, so that by making minute changes to that format, you can frame the new formats that can prove to be helpful in framing the other type of sentences. Now, looking at the format for negative sentences, it will start with subject. Okay, subject again has to be either a noun or a pronoun. Then plus will or shall, and apart from that also you can use other auxiliary verbs as I have already mentioned. Plus not, plus have will be used as it is, not have. Okay. Then plus third form of verb, that is the past participle form, plus object. Now, if you compare this format with the previous format, then you will notice this format is absolutely similar to what we previously discussed. The only change is that there it was will or shall plus have, and now I have added not between shall and have. Okay, auxiliary verb and have, between both of them there is a not. This not is basically creating the negation. Okay, and this is how we are framing negative sentences. It means the complete format is same. The only difference is that I have added a not between the auxiliary verb and have. The examples also are similar to what we framed earlier, because we will use the same examples to frame different type of sentences, so that you will not need to learn the format or sentence, but you will be able to understand them by looking at the same examples framed in different formats, framed by using different formats. Let's have a look. First, Priya will not have completed the project by Wednesday. Earlier it was Priya will have completed the project by Wednesday. Now I am saying that she will have not completed it. It means earlier I was telling about an action that will be done in future by a point of time. But now I am talking about an event which will not be done by a point of time in future. So this is the only difference between a general and a negative sentence. There we were talking about the completion of an action in future till a point of time, and now we are talking about not completing an action in future, and this is how it works. Here if we compare it with the format, Priya, this is the subject as we discussed earlier also, will as it is, then not have. As it is, completed as I have told you is the third form of verb complete, and then the project by Wednesday, this is the object. Let's have a look at the rest two examples. First, Ram will not have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m. Earlier it was Ram will have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m. That time we were talking about the possibility of an event to take place in future. Now I am saying Ram will not have reached, okay, Jaipur by 2 p.m. It means I am talking about the possibility of an action to not take place, okay, in future. Last, Jay will not have written a book by next month. Earlier it was Jay will have completed a book or written a book by next month. Now it is Jay will not have written a book by next month. It means this task will not be completed in future till a point of time. So this is how we frame negative sentences in future perfect tense. Now we'll talk about framing interrogative sentences or questions in future perfect tense. Let us have a look at the format for doing so. The sentence or the question will start with the auxiliary verb. Here we have taken will or shall for example. Then plus the subject, that is either a noun or a pronoun. Plus have as it is, plus third form of verb, plus object, and lastly a question mark, since we are framing questions here. Now as I told you that if you know the first format well, then you can derive the rest of the formats from there. So now if we compare this format with that first format, then you will see that format was starting with the subject and then plus will or shall, plus have, and so on. The rest of the part was absolutely same. But here the sentence is starting with the auxiliary verb, then plus the subject, and rest of the part is still same. So the difference between the first format and this format is that we have just interchanged the positions of the auxiliary verb and subject. While writing general sentences, we start the sentence with subject, then we write auxiliary verb, then have, third form of verb, and object, and of course lastly a full stop. But while framing questions, we start the question with an auxiliary verb and then we write the subject, and rest of the part remains absolutely same. But yes, we write a question mark since we are framing question. I guess this is clear to you. Now let's have a look at the examples. First, will Priya have completed the project by Wednesday? Now I am asking. Earlier it was Priya will have completed the project by Wednesday. So that time I was telling that Priya will have completed her project by the coming Wednesday. But now I am asking that will Priya have completed the project by Wednesday, and a question mark. So a simple sentence, a statement has been now converted into a question simply by interchanging the positions of will and Priya, that is the subject. Second, will Ram have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m.? Earlier it was Ram will have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m. So at that time I was telling that he will have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m. But now since I am starting with will and then writing Ram, I am asking that will Ram have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m.? So you can simply see that just by interchanging the positions of the first two words, we have completely changed the sense or the meaning of the sentence. Earlier it was a kind of answer to which now it is framing the question. Last, will Jay have written a book by next month? Earlier I was telling that Jay will have written a book by next month. But now I am asking that will Jay have written a book by next month, and a question mark. If you want to compare it with the format, then you can see that the question is beginning with will, then subject is Jay, have as it is, written is the third form of verb write, a book is answering the question what, and by next month is answering when. This complete part is the object. So this is how we frame interrogative sentences in future perfect tense. Now we'll deal with the negative interrogative sentences in future perfect tense. Initially, I would like to tell you the difference between a negative interrogative sentence and an interrogative sentence. Okay, an interrogative sentence is framed to ask if an action will take place, and a negative interrogative sentence is framed to ask if an action will not take place. Okay, it means the interrogative sentence want to know the possibility of an event to take place, and a negative interrogative sentence want to ask the possibility of an event to not take place. Alright, now let's have a look at its format. The sentence or the question will start with the auxiliary verb. For example, here we have written will or shall. Then plus subject, which will be either a noun or a pronoun. Plus have not, okay, as it is. Plus third form of verb, plus the object and a question mark. If you compare this with the last format, then you will see that this format is absolutely similar to the previous one. The only difference is that I have added a not between have and verb. Alright, if I remove this not, then this will be the format for an interrogative sentence. But since we have added a not after have, now this format is for framing negative questions or negative interrogative sentences. Let's have a look at the examples. First, will Priya have not completed the project by Wednesday? So earlier I wanted to ask if Priya will be able to complete her project by the coming Wednesday. But now I want to inquire if she will not be able to do it by Wednesday. Okay, this is where the role of negative interrogative sentence comes into play. Will, as it is, Priya, this is the subject, it is noun. Then have not, as it is, completed is the third form of verb complete. Then the project by Wednesday is the object, and lastly a question mark. Second, will Ram have not reached Jaipur by 2 p.m.? Earlier it was will Ram have reached Jaipur by 2 p.m. Okay, then I was inquiring about Ram reaching Jaipur in future by 2 p.m. Now I want to inquire if he will not reach Jaipur by 2 p.m. Last, will Jay have not written a book by next month? Earlier it was will Jay have written a book by next month? And while writing that sentence, I wanted to ask if by next month Jay will be able to completely write his book. But now since I am writing will Jay have not written a book by next month, I want to ask if he will not be able to complete or write his book by next month. Okay, so this is all about future perfect tense. I guess I am clear with the topic. Still, if you have any doubts or queries, then you can drop comments. If you want to suggest any improvement, then also you can drop comments regarding that. Also, I am going to share my Gmail address in description, so you can write mails also regarding any message that you want to convey. If you have not subscribed this channel yet, then do subscribe it. Also press the bell icon so that you will receive notification whenever I'll upload a new video. Don't forget to like and share my videos. Thank you so much for watching.